Well, Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth had a response to Ivey's mandate today. His statement reads, in part, "Throughout the coronavirus pandemic, I have encouraged all Alabamians to take the steps necessary to protect their own health and the health of others. Issuing a statewide face mask mandate, however, is an overstep that infringes upon the property rights of business owners and the ability of individuals to make their own health decisions." For his full statement, just head to rocketcitynow.com.